Well, here we are on the beautiful New River in Fort Lauderdale, and we're going to have a closer look at this Lagoon 52. That's a 2014 model, four stateroom version. The New River was first visited by sailors from Europe in 1519. Ponce de Leon came here, and they ran out of water, so they anchored right off of the inlet near where Bahia Mar Yachting Center is, and sent the dinghies ashore with barrels and got some water from this river. And that's when it got named Rio Nuevo, the New River. And so we still call it that. I love these Lagoon 52s. They sail fast, they're roomy, and very stable. I just went to the Virgin Islands, spent 12 days on one. We got up to about 11 and a half knots in one of them, and it was just a smooth, stable, beautiful ride. All right, let's go have a closer look down below. This Lagoon 52 is named Summer Camp, and it is very well maintained for a 2014 version. It has a nice covered area on the flybridge. You can walk on parts of it. It has big battery banks and a lot of solar on the back. These fenders are inflatable, and I think every boat over 45 feet should have a set of these because they're really good when a tropical storm comes. It keeps your boat well off the dock, and when you get ready to leave and go cruising, you can deflate them, and they store in a small area. This netting that runs around the perimeter of the boat was for the previous owner's dog, so that if he's running around in heavy seas, he won't fall in if he loses his balance. All right, let's go check it out. Well, I had the decks washed a couple days ago, but the birds came and dive bombed us. And one way to prevent that is to have some of those inflatable anti-bird devices, sometimes known as the big eye. They're basically beach balls with big eyes on them, and they scare the birds away. And for the type of birds we have around South Florida, they seem to work the best. Some people put owls, fake owls on their rigging, but I've seen the birds fly right up to them and almost kiss them. All right, so up here in the Four Peaks, we have storage lockers with spare parts, fluids, tools, stuff like that. And got a lot of solar on here. I forgot to look it up, how much it is, but it's a lot. It's enough to run everything off grid and not have to crank up the generator or engines unless you're running lots of air conditioning. All right, let's go on the flybridge, my favorite spot. And all the sail controls lead to one place, so it's easy for a couple people to run this. Some people could single-hand it, but you have to be really experienced to do that. I cruised one of these for almost 2 weeks in the BVI recently, and we just loved it up here. It's always so cool up here in the shade, even in the morning when the wind doesn't blow very hard in the Bahamas and Florida in the mornings, and the Caribbean too. And well, here's the control station, and watch this. You can tilt the wheel to each side so that you can sail and see your sails through the window very easily. Or if you're docking, you can be in a better position to see how close you are to that concrete dock that you're trying to put the boat next to. All right, let's hop on down to the cockpit. And there's an ice maker over there, plenty of seating. And this is the cocktail tabletop. It's interchangeable with a dinner top, and you can store extra tops here in this overhead locker that's hinged, comes down. Some people put life jackets up there. This boat has the teak deck just in the aft areas in the cockpit, which I think gives it a much more yachty look. There's access to the engines. And here's access to the aft stateroom, which is one of my favorites. I feel like I'm going into a UFO or spacecraft when I go down here. Let's go check it out. All right. Now, we left this bunk open so you could see the batteries and the inverters. These windows have decals on them, and the purpose is to reflect the light that reflects off the water that heats up the boat. But you can take a heat gun or a hair dryer and just blow it in the corner and peel it right off if you'd rather have the view, which is what I would rather have. Have a desk area with a seat and storage underneath the seat. Lagoon's always looking for ways to put more storage in the boats, and that's why they make some of the best liveaboards. All right, these are electric Dometic heads. I really like Dometics. They seem to be the most reliable. And so underneath this bunk, we have some lithium-ion batteries with a Victron inverter. And there's some air conditioning equipment. These slats fit under the mattress, and they keep mildew and mold from forming. They're a good thing if you're in the tropics. Okay, let's go over here. We have sunshades that roll up underneath the top. Have a sink in here. And a cockpit fridge. Keep your beer cold out here. And we have a nice big galley with plenty of counter space for the chef. And, you know, Lagoon's the only manufacturer that builds in these overhead cabinets. And when you live aboard, or if you're chartering with big groups, you never have enough storage space. So it really makes a big difference. I love these leather upholstered cushions because they clean up a lot easier than many of the cloth versions. And if you spill red wine on them and mop it up right away, it's not going to stain them permanently. Nice chart table, plenty of ventilation. All right, let's head down below. There's a fridge and a freezer, and there's another one down here. Actually, we'll go down here first. Nice big fridge, extra fridge, freezer, dry storage. And moving forward, we have an athwartship's berth, which is easy to get in and out of, with plenty of space on the sides. And a nice, bright, airy head with a separate shower. Let's go aft. And we have another large stateroom, a thwartship's berth, plenty of locker space to put your stuff away. For 2014, this is in exceptional condition. These are European style heads, so they would put the toilet over there, and then the shower areas here. Plenty of ventilation. If you're gonna be at anchor, you can get a nice breeze blowing through here. All right. Now we're gonna go in the other hall. Nice desk, a thwartship's berth, easy to get in and out of. And a pretty good sized head and shower. Love these 52s. Plenty of room, they sail well. And one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of newbies buy yachts that are too big, too much to handle. They bite off more than they can chew. And the 52 weighs in at about 61,000 pounds, as opposed to a Lagoon 450 that weighs in at about half of that, 32,000. And so you must remember, when you're in storm situations or docking in crosswinds or cross currents, you can have huge pressures and it can get out of hand. I call it wrestling a bear. Yeah, if you're not prepared for what happens when the big blows come. So you should talk to me more about what sort of training or crew you might need to get a yacht of this size, because as they increase in length, they also increase in width and height. And so this is double the weight of a 450, which is only 7 feet smaller. So just beware of that. Okay, well, that's just a quick view of the Lagoon 52 summer camp from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Talk to you later.